welcome everybody للسبيشال انترفيو اللي حنعملها اللي كنا واعدينكم فيها وحنعملها مع جويل هانتر. ويلكم جويل.
ميرسي كتير. It's a pleasure for me إني أكون على البودكاست، وصراحة إنه شرف كتير كبير لإلي إنه to represent Lebanon the wrestling world and إنه أول مصارعة عربية تكون من Lebanon. It's amazing صراحة.
صدقيني you are making us proud.
Thank you.
لك اوكي بالبداية دغري أول سؤال، ليش جويل هانتر؟ ليش هالاسم؟
صراحة ما بعرف، ما حبيت إنه في كتير ناس بحطوا اسمنا الحقيقي، بس أنا ما حبيت حط اسم الحقيقي لأنه يعني أنا الكل بعرفني إنه برا الرينج أنا غيدة، بس ما حدا بيعرف مين جوال هانتر. فحتى صدفتني إنه لما الناس كانت تكتب ارتكلز عني، في ناس يقولوا لي في هيدي البنت بتشبهك اسمها جوال هانتر، وبعدين لما يدققوا النظر اكتر يقولوا لي انت جوال. انا جوال. فانا to me it was always like wrestling always had the suspense انه behind the curtain you're someone, and then when once the curtain opens you're completely someone different. وحسيت انه لو استعملت اسمي الحقيقي it will ruin everything.
اكيد بس انه ما في شيء اوريجين للنيم، يعني انه ما في مثلا باك ستوري انه ليش هالنيم بالاسم بالتحديد، انه it was accident يعني.
it was هلا هو صراحة اسم تركيب يعني. I looked through the history of female wrestlers يعني في كتير مثلا اسماء زي توري او جيسيكا او اماندا او هذه الاسماء it's like so like familiar, but then I like when I thought of the name Joelle I thought okay no one has that name, so it's a very good idea to use it, but I didn't want to get mistaken for the hairdresser Joelle also, so I had to come up with a last name for Joelle. So believe it or not حطيت زي list كلها family names وضليت اكتب كل اسم مع التاني لطلع مع جوال هانتر.
كانت بروسس طويلة يعني، مش انه it was not like easy يعني.
No, it wasn't صراحة. I actually have a notebook where I have like all my wrestling ideas and promos that I used to write when I was like 14, 15. So I still have those. I think that's.
بما انك ذكرتي العمر، امتين بلشت تحضري رسلينج؟
أنا بلشت أحضر رسلينج وأنا عمري 14 سنة. أنا ما بلشت يعني في كتير ناس بتحكي إنه أنا بلشت أحضر رسلينج وأنا عمري 8 سنين 7 سنين، بس أنا the community I grew up in it was like كتير إنه typical. فما كان في مصارعة للبنات، ما كان يعني عقلية البنات كانت just focused on things like Barbies و cartoons وهيدي الأشياء. أنا also I grew up in Saudi Arabia فإنه it wasn't that open. So I used to hear about it, but I was like, okay, whatever, you know, wrestling, so what? And then when I moved to Dubai, I got introduced more to wrestling and I started watching it slowly, and I got introduced to it by a couple of friends, and then yeah, I really liked the sport, and then I started to watch it and get into it.
يعني growing up you didn't have like an idol يعني ك wrestling idol يعني no wrestler you would look up to.
When I found out about wrestling, my wrestling idol was, and obviously still is, Sheamus. I don't know. I felt like I really related to his character because like I was always the odd one out in high school, and he was always the odd one because he's pale and everyone like you know there's tan and oiled, and he's like pale and different. And
يعني كنت هيك متصور شي بريت هارت، شون مايكلز، انه شي هيك، انه شيمس ابدا ولا 1% كنت حاطه بحساباتي انه ممكن تقولي شيمس which is like انه يونيك. لا عن جد يعني شيمس is a great guy صراحة، و is a hard worker، وعن جد يعني بتحسيه يمكن غير لا too bad هلا انه he's a jobber وهيك هلا، بس انه that's another story. قولي لي شو
Honestly, I even met Seamus, and he's a very humble person, and he will actually stand there and listen to what you have to tell him, even like no matter how long you took, and he will really listen to you carefully. And yeah, you feel like he's really humble. Like he's not like all these other wrestlers that just go there and tan and get oiled up and go out there and just show off. You feel like he's really there to. You just feel like he's really odd, and that's why I felt like I could relate to him because I was honestly the odd one out in high school. So
اتس اوكي. طيب جوال، السؤال اللي بدي اسالك اياه، اكيد هول كل الاسئله هن باي اور ممبرز. هلا انا يمكن ظبطتهم بطريقه انه يطلعوا بترتيب انه chronological order. اكيد لما اخذت الديسيجن انك انت تكوني راسلر، اكيد يمكن in your family your friends يمكن كان في مثل mixed reactions. who supported you وكيف كانت الرياكشن من بقيه الناس اللي حولك؟
هلا أنا as for my family I live with my mom لأنه ضيي وأمي they got divorced when I was 8 months. So and my mother is a single mom. She's just she's not married or anything, so like I wouldn't have an obstacle of a step parent saying no. And my mom was a little surprised at first, but it's not that she didn't support. Like she was surprised, but she still liked the idea. A lot of my friends thought I was crazy. They're like, عن جد انت عم تحكي يعني اسا انت عم تحكي يمكن عقلك شو بدك شو بده يطلعك to wrestle men that like are 6 feet tall and weigh 200 pounds. And honestly, like I'm a lot smaller than what I am in pictures. Like a lot of people, even when you see me in real life, my size just tends to be a lot smaller. And I'm like only 5'4" and approximately weigh 120 pounds. So in comparison with all the guys that I wrestle with, I would technically get crushed. And so that's why كتير ناس they didn't support the idea, or they thought it was crazy. Some people actually thought that it would take away from my femininity. They're like, yeah, it would make you a lot less feminine and it would make you more manly. And I thought, okay, whatever. So I don't care. But then as soon as like everything started to like pick up and I started I've even had friends that said like, yeah, I'll come there and laugh at how like silly you're gonna look in comparison to everyone else in the ring. And as soon as my things like picked up and I started getting interviews with people, they're like, oh, we're so happy for you, ما بعرف شو. Oh yeah, you deserve it. To look at you, you're so famous. And so I would say I didn't get support at first, but when I really proved myself, everyone was like, yeah, you're really good for you. And so exactly.
next question شوي odd. هذا صراحة question من عندي أنا يعني. اوكي، تعرفتي على المصارعة، حبيت المصارعة، كان بدك تجربيها، بس كنتي كل شيء بتعرفيه عن الرسلينج كان من اللي شايفيته انت على التي في. يمكن لما فتي بالبزنس، شو الاشياء اللي تغيرت عندك، اللي كنتي انت فكريتها انه does not exist لقيتيها موجودة، او يمكن لقيتيها انه التروث ار بندد ممكن، او في اشياء مش انه more than meets the eye بقلب الاندستري او بقلب البرو رسلينج؟
في كتير اشياء تغيرت بنظري. It's like, for example, it's a lot harder than what you see on TV. You don't just walk into and you start doing slams and crazy things. It's a really long process. Like it took some of us 3 years, it took some of us 2 years to be able to do like simple suplexes and slams, and that was the time where our body was ready for it. And personally, when I started wrestling, I wanted to like desperately be a high flyer. But when I walked in the ring and I really got the feel of what it was like, it really hit me that I wasn't that flexible and it wasn't my fighting style. So I would say one of the things إنه اللي دايما بيحطوها بعقلهم الناس إنه مثلا I will be a powerhouse or I will be technical or I will be submission. بس هيدا منه شيء إنه منه قرار الواحد. هيدا إنه that's something that your capability and your size and your flexibility and your adrenaline and you know your psychology will determine your fighting style. هذا الشيء كتير إنه it hit me. هلا I did have some high flying moves in my thing, like the head scissors. A lot of people count it as a high flying move. My finisher, I would hang off of someone, but mostly my fighting style was more technical submission. And one thing I would say, it's not really like as exciting as you see on TV. Everyone walks in.
If I may interrupt, يعني حتى بالفيمous women wrestler أو WWE divas أو ما في شيء اسمه يعني high flying بقلب الومنز. يعني عم نحكي شيء يعني شيء هاي، يعني عم نحكي هاي ليفل مش مثل المان. يعني يمكن would took years of training، ومثل ما انت قلتي واحد كمان حسب البادي تبعوله، حسب الكابابيلتي اللي له، الاتريبيوتس اللي يقدمها. بس which انا من الفيديوز اللي شفتهم عنك on يوتيوب اللي هن يمكن مقاطع قلال، no you're good، يعني you're good بالنسبة ل your size your moves كذا. يعني انا no pun intended، يعني بالنسبة للجايز اللي معك you're more athletic than them, like you're more technical than them. No like I'm being honest، يعني مش عم بعطيك مثل compliment أو شيء، لا it's for real صراحة. next question هني مثل يعني connected لأول وحدة. من بعد ما فتي أنت على الاندستري وشفتي كل هالأشياء، هل كان في شيء obstacles أو sacrifices عملتيها أنت لتضلي بهالدومين، ولا it was like إنه لا إنه it's easy I'm gonna do this؟
I had to go through a couple of sacrifices صراحة. One of the things that I had to accept criticism from people, like when my articles went out, I got bullied a lot online and I got called like the nastiest of things, and I still have people come across my account and post really nasty things. And I guess one of the sacrifices would be like, listen, honestly, in person, I'm someone who would never like take crap from anyone. Like, so if you'll swear at me, I will swear at you back. But I kind of had to, suck that up and kind of be the star. Like, don't be a bully, be a star. That's one of the things. I guess fitting in a group of guys is a little tough. I told you, because they're all very, very big, and no matter how humble they're gonna be with you, you are gonna end up getting hurt. So you have to, I guess, like, you have to really suck up the pain and just be really strong. If you're gonna cry over every single thing that happens to you, you're not gonna make it. And obviously the pressure was a lot higher on me, considering I was the only girl and I was the only one presenting the women's division. The pressure on me from my wrestling coach was a lot higher than it was on everybody else, because I was the only girl, and he was like, I want you to be like perfect, and that's why, like, he would always be like, no, correct your form, no, this is wrong, do it again. And it would get very mentally frustrating at times, but that's, if you want to really make it in your wrestling career, you have to work under a lot of pressure. So
anyways, إذا ما نرجع back to the interview, actually الجايز عنا شوي بدهم ياخذوا مثل مش بس الجايز، حتى الجيرلز عنا بالكوميونتي كانوا عم ياخذوا طلبوا مثل advice. So عم بقول لك إنه what does it really take to be a pro wrestler?
This is gonna be a very long answer,
like إنه عطينا the most important thing. I know it's gonna be long, but إنه كان لازم دخل السؤال كرمال اللي سأله ما يزعل يعني.
Of course. So you need a very strong mental approach to be a wrestler. because there are a lot of things that you're going to have to change about your life. For example, if you're a smoker, you're going to have to give up smoking because your stamina is going to be too low and you're not going to be able to wrestle for a long time. And taking like bumps in the ring will bother your lungs. Yes, there are wrestlers that smoke, but they aren't, in my opinion, they aren't as great as ones who don't smoke. You're going to have to give up eating junk food. You're going to have to eat healthy food. You're going to have to train so much, not only in the ring, outside the ring. And a lot of people have this misconception that a wrestler only is going to train because they want to have a good body. But that's not about having a good body. It's about having a strong body to tolerate all what you go through in the ring and to give you a long and peaceful wrestling career. And you have to understand that I've been told this before I started wrestling by one of the people that are really close to me. They said, you have to understand that you're putting your body on the line every single time you step in the ring. Anything can happen to you. Even you can end up breaking your neck while you're in the ring. Anything can go wrong. It could be as bad as getting paraplegic or paralyzed. So you have to you have to be willing to tolerate all these things to happen to you. Because if you're not willing to tolerate these things, being a pro wrestler takes a lot of sacrifice. We make it look like it's a lot of fun, and people say that it's fake, but nothing about what we do is actually fake.
exactly. هلا في حدا كان سأل سؤال انه have any dreams to make it to the big leagues. انا يمكن عملت تويست على السؤال. اكيد عندك dreams تكوني in the big leagues، هذا مش سؤال، بس انا كنت بدي اسالك هل في بلان لتوصلي يمكن او تطلعي من محل انت على غير ليج او على غير بروموشن، ولا هلا الامور شوي on hold؟
Well, yeah, I had that in mind. I wanted to go to the US and start wrestling there, and it was actually kind of in the works, and I was also supposed to be sent to Japan, and but I was kind of in the middle of, should I stay here because I want to create the females division, but still, like, it's my career, so I was planning on like being back and forth between there and here, and wrestling and getting more experience and wrestling different people. But right now that it's as I've announced on my Instagram a couple of days ago, I'm gonna just be like waiting until I see improvements and stuff. But if, let's say, that my back wasn't hurt, yes, my plan would be to travel abroad and wrestle and get to experience different things and meet different people, because people just think that I'm gonna be a good wrestler and the WWE will have to notice me. No, you have to.
WWE مش كانوا عملوا مثل ترايلز بدبي من فترة؟
No, we didn't. They came to Dubai. We didn't have any trials because we sent them our CVs, and they said like they don't want to do any trials right now, and hopefully next time they come they will be doing more trials. So
Right.
but then again, it's, you have to have like enough experience, because they might hire you, yes, but like you might not make it out of FCW if you don't have like that.
Yes, as they will give you a developmental contract، بس انه بحطوكي ب NXT يعني ما او ان فلوريدا، يعني محل ما بيعملوا الديفلوبمنت والتريننج وهالشيء، وشوف اذا انت you make the cut or not. Speaking about
Yeah.
يعني انت قلتي انه you'd like كان في عندك انه مثل اوبشن انك تضلي وتعملي او to create the women's division. بس جاوبينا باختصار because like انه احنا عندنا هون بالعالم العربي يمكن ما في فكره موحده عن شو هي الرسلينج بروموشنز الموجوده عندنا. So شو الستيت of wrestling promotions او wrestling in the Arab world؟ هل في شيء؟ هل هو ما في شيء؟ هل بس بدبي يمكن هذا الشيء اللي هلا صاير هو انه مثل first because we really don't know.
There are two wrestling promotions in the Arab world, the ones that I know of at least. There's one in Dubai, which is Dubai Pro Wrestling, and then there's one in Qatar, which is Qatar Pro Wrestling. But Qatar Pro Wrestling only has men. And Qatar Pro Wrestling mostly deals with like big wrestlers that were already released from WWE and or that are not working with WWE and are working
like indie stars يعني.
Yeah, indie stars basically. Like I think they worked with Alberto Del Rio for a while. They worked with they're working with Rey Mysterio right now. Like local talent, I think the Pro Wrestling is the only wrestling community that actually has local talent and is developing wrestlers rather than just getting famous wrestlers to, you know.
إذا بتحسي حالك مرتاحة if you can يعني أو بالأحلى if you will إذا فيكي بس تشرحي لنا شوي عن الانجري تبعولتك شو الديتيلز اللي حولها يعني.
Well, actually, it's not like an injury. It's kind of like a birth defect. Okay, so the last vertebrae in my thoracic spine, which is the part of the spine that holds the rib cage, and the first vertebrae of my lumbar spine, which is the spine that supports your torso area, are like I was born with them being stuck together. That being said, the fact that they're already stuck together, they're causing a lot of pressure on the disc that's between these two vertebrae. The fact that they're causing a lot of disc on it, it's affecting the entire spine. So the fact that I have to take bumps and take down guys that are half my size is putting a lot of like pressure and risk on my back as it is. So with that being said, like I could put myself under really high risks because, you know, my back is already fragile and pressured as it is, and, you know, it won't be able to tolerate, you know, that the type of pressure that, you know, wrestling has to do on your back. That being said, actually, it just started out as normal back pain, and everyone was telling me, yeah, you know, that's fine, wrestlers have back pain, and they do, but mine was, you know, mine wasn't the muscle, mine was the bone. And we've had wrestlers that have had like really bad back injuries and they've told me, yeah, you need to get it checked out.
وصلنا هلا شوي عن جد اخر 2 أو 3 questions. Who is your current favorite كان female أو male wrestler?
I think my current favorite, well, I mean, honestly, like, as much as I'm gonna sound selfish saying this, but I don't really have any favorite female wrestler right now because I don't know. I mean, like, my favorite.
Is that right now? You can say of all time. That's okay.
I think of all time it would be Lita and probably AJ. I don't know. I feel like they just don't make them like that anymore. I mean, I don't hate the current roster. I have a lot of respect for them, but they're just not my cup of tea. And I just feel like ever since like Lana it walked in, you have girls like, you know, Eva Marie and Dana Brooke. Like, you just feel like it's a whole, like, you don't feel like anybody takes it seriously anymore. And I mean, I'm not disrespecting these girls. I don't hate them, but
okay,
I don't know. It's just not the same.
Like a side comment. It's okay to hate Dana Brooke because the guys like will laugh at me because I'm a Dana Brooke fan. Like أنا بحس إن she's the next big thing in female wrestling بشكل عام. بس إنه only time will tell. بس إنه الأوبشنز اللي أنت قلتيهم اللي هن إنه ليتا و AJ Lee like إنه لا you know what you're talking about لأنه you're not like إنه تريش أو فيكتوريا أو إيفا توريس وهول الديفاس أكثر مما هن wrestlers يعني. طيب men.
Men actually, it's just kind of, I could say I love what Dean is doing. I love Dean. He's just, he feels, he's like, he just feels that gap, that thing they lack to the table. He's out of his mind. And what gets better is that every year you feel like he gets crazier. Like when he walked in, he was just an unstable guy, and now he's like an absolute maniac. Like he comes out, he's crazy, throwing things around.
So you must be happy that he won the title last night, or like on Sunday night.
Yes, I really feel he deserves it because he worked really hard, and I was his fan. Like not only as Dean Ambrose, as John Moxley, and he brought something completely different to the table. Like he was that different wrestler, and he made you believe that he's an actual psycho.
Your dream match? Like since like you wrestled men مطرح ما انت, it's okay إذا بده يكون dream match تبعولك كان woman أو man. I'll give that to you.
I would say a dream match would be me versus China, because China is one of my favorite divas. I think she's the perfect example of what a diva should look like and be like. I know it's weird, but she's just so perfect, and she's so intimidating. Like, she's not like she still stayed like pretty and feminine in my opinion, and she didn't even try. I mean, like, she was bigger than half of the guys in the roster. But I definitely say that would be my dream match, to wrestle China, and she's really good. I remember my last show, because she passed away 2 days before the show, and I dressed up similar to how she's like. I wore all black, and I did like her heavy makeup in a tribute to her. I have a lot of respect for her. She's an amazing woman, in my opinion, honestly.
ان شاء الله يعني بغض النظر عن بقيه الكارير اللي لها بعد الرسلينج, she was like عن جد بتقول ninth wonder in the world, و she deserves to be on the Hall of Fame.
She deserves it.
اكيد. last question هذا خليته للاخر انا لانه عن جد it's deep. What would you like to be remembered for?
Honestly, a lot of like. I want to be remembered as Joelle Hunter, but not only as Joelle Hunter, the wrestler. Like, I'm not only Joelle Hunter, the girl who walks out there with shorts and crop tops and beats the life out of guys. I'm an outcast, and that's true. I'm an outcast because, even before I became a wrestler, I was always an outcast. I was always like breaking rules, and I have a lot of piercings. And it's haram, and to me,
You're different.
I don't care.
That's the word I can use. You're different.
Yeah, like I don't care about what society thinks of me. So what I'm trying to say is Joelle Hunter is kind of like, the thing that I always wanted to be growing up, like the girl who doesn't care about what people think about her. She's powerful even though she's small, And I want to be Joelle Hunter, not only to be a wrestler, just to inspire people to really be who they are, who they want to be, and do what they want to do, Like, chase whatever you want in life. And even if it doesn't get you anywhere, that's fine. As long as you're doing what you love. A lot of people always, do things that they don't like or change their personality for people who, they're just trying to impress, like, their parents or their friends. And in my opinion, I would much rather have, people disown me than, change who I am. So I want to inspire people everywhere, and I just want everybody to be themselves, and I want everybody to be happy. And that's something I want to be remembered for, as kind of the person who was never, who never changed their self for anybody. That's what I always want to be remembered as.
Like, that's the best answer ever. Would you ever consider like coming to Lebanon?
I mean, yes, I would actually. The last time I came to Lebanon, I think, was to renew my passport. And it was in, I think, 2009. And I would definitely consider it, but I mean, like, it just always, like, my schedule is always hectic, and I always have things going on, and, I gotta train, and I'm, on a certain, like, plan, and, like, taking a vacation is kind of like a thing I have to double think about. And but definitely I would love to come to Lebanon. I mean, it's my hometown, it's my country. I would be more than happy to.
بنهاية الفيديو شو المسج أو شو بتحب تقولي للناس اللي حيحضروك؟
Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me and for taking a lot of interest in me. And, you know, everything happens for a reason. Yes, I might not be wrestling right now, but, you know, what I do and my existence as a person just proves that no matter how much the odds are against you and how much people out there are against you, you know, like, be fearless of whatever stands in your way, you know. If I can be the only girl wrestling in the Arab world and get bullied so much and get so much threats and, you know, get so much hate and dislikes and not care about it, then I'm pretty sure you can do whatever you want and not care about what people think of you, honestly, you know. Because, you know, one thing I would also like to add, a comfort zone is nice. Like, nothing ever happens in your comfort zone. So you gotta get out there and really do what you want to do and chase what you really love. Because otherwise, if you don't, you're just wasting your own time. So that's one thing I would want to say to everybody, honestly.
Joelle Hunter, thank you. أول شيء أكيد when you're coming to Lebanon عن جد لازم تخبرينا. We must have you.
Of course.
أكيد we wish you a speedy recovery. So whatever the case is with you, thank you. Thank you for responding. Thank you for having us at this late. Thank you for enlightening us أكيد لأنه this is an enlightening video أكتر مما هو interview. وغير هيك اللي عم يحضروا أكيد thank you for watching. اي شيء بدكم تقولوه حطوه بالكومنتس تحت كانوا على الفيسبوك ولا على اليوتيوب see you.